major announcement by the judge. Right now I am editing my poem that I'm going to share today at the 2019 Women's March here in San Francisco. And I am pretty set on the poem itself. I stayed up for a very long time last night getting it together. I think right now what I'm working on is the beginning part where I give the audience context and I just kind of ground the performance in letting my ancestors move through me and letting the crowd know exactly who is on that stage, because I know it's not just me. I've been really in my feelings about just getting a lot of love from folks who send me messages and remind me of what I'm made for and continuously offer me encouragement for today.
So when you start talking about women in STEM, women in non-traditional jobs, and
I literally, ironically, can't find the words for what that means to me. I think
if we really truly
so
have
often,
a strong economy, we must embrace, educate, hire.
I get nervous of the pedestal
at the same rate that we do
I graciously get put on by my community,
an awakening of this country
to be this beacon of light, to speak for all of us.
Have been very comfortable treating women
I get nervous of
as a second-class citizen,
not doing them justice. I get nervous of fucking up,
saw during the suffrage movement when it said
and then I like teeter-totter between that and knowing that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be,
women equality,
and not apologizing
rights, which includes
for being smaller or for shrinking.
Now it's about
that
the
systematic I'm supposed to be on this lineup.
Of women in
I'm supposed to say Oceania's name. I'm supposed to represent.
Me too was very uncomfortable.
It doesn't feel like a burden anymore. I think when I was first coming up as an artist, as a poet, that felt really nerve-wracking. It still does, but I think I'm older and I'm more capable of holding that responsibility and having the nuance of, you know, I know it's not all on me, and I'm okay with that being a thing too. And so
Should Representative King
I think I'm just gonna print this out. Let me see. All right, love you, bye. Printing always stresses me out because it's like that's that final step before a performance, and it's like, what if there's no ink? What if your print's wrong? What if you don't have a printer? And I hate performing off of my phone, or even more tacky, I would very much not like to perform off of a laptop, but this is good. I need one for the translator and one for myself. Just gonna, yep, this is it. But yeah, people have like vocal exercises and things like that. I don't have that. I just sit with myself and I do some sort of prayer and I remind myself what I'm made for. I think I do that a lot, where I'm like, what are you made for, Terisa? And then I'm reminded of our ancestors. I'm gonna go peel an egg, and I'm reminded of how I'm not supposed to be here doing this. I think I came into poetry because I loved writing when I was little, but I never in my wildest dreams thought this would be my life. I'm like supposed to be a doctor, or like I should have my PhD by now. But even as I was advancing in my education, it still wasn't fulfilling me all the way. I still left my master's program very thankful, and I became a therapist because of it. But doing therapy in the therapy room wasn't enough. I kept yearning to create and to make art. And so and I've never been more happier than when I decided to make this what I do. And so, but I get nervous every time. And I think that's a good thing. I think the moment I stop getting nervous before a show would be when I would feel like I'm in trouble. This is my friend Denise. Let's see what she has. Hello?
Hi, Bo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm kind
know you're very busy. I'm calling you to just wish you luck on Monday. Or is it tomorrow?
The Women's March?
Yeah.
Girl, it's in like an hour.
Bitch! Okay, so I'm gonna step into my Coach Carter. So, no, I'm just calling you to like wish you luck. You don't need it. You know what to do, and you have 1,000 people standing not only behind you but inside you. So all you have to do is just do what you've been doing. That's it. You just have to do what you've been doing forever. And know that I love you, I support you, and I know you're gonna kick it. I know you're gonna kick ass.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. That's one of my best friends, I'll say. She's also a full-time poet. And so sometimes people don't realize that this is like a career that you can have. Like you don't have to live alongside this myth of being a starving artist or a starving poet or whatnot. Like you can make money and make a living off of this. And so like tying that back into what I was saying before, never in my wildest dreams did I think this was going to be my life. And so I don't take it for granted ever. And I don't subscribe to this idea that I create art for art's sake, or I write poems because they're pretty. Like, no, there's a responsibility that I have, and I know what that is. I'm very clear about that, and so it's wonderful to be friends with people like Denise, who called me just now, who hype me up and remind me. Something she just said that struck me was, yeah, it'll be some of these people's like first time experiencing a spoken word poem or a poem performed in the way that I'll perform it, and there's a certain kind of electricity to that I really value, and so I'm lucky to be the one to do that today. What is beautiful? I can't wait to sit down for this next. I know the date. Behind the stage for the Women's March in the speaker area, and I'm feeling good. The sun is coming out and making my mood immensely better. My mood was already great, but good weather fuels me even more. And so my sister just texted me. She flew in from Seattle for this, but also for other family stuff this weekend. But I'm looking out for her because she's coming from BART. Hopefully with my mom. I hope that she found her. But I'm feeling good. I think nerves are subsiding because there's nothing to be nervous about. And I'm just standing firmer in my truth.
I'm excited to hear from her. So I've been to like I think 2 of her performances or where she was a keynote speaker, and I just loved it. So I'm really happy to be here.
Rise, rise, rise! Women! Rise, rise, rise! Women! Rise, rise, rise! Family, when I say Women. When I say we will, y'all say fight. We will. We will. When I say we will, y'all say resist. We will. We will. When I say we will, y'all say win. We will. We will. We will. Make some noise. Family, I stand here as a child of immigrant parents from the island of Samoa, someone who was born and raised in this city, Frisco, California, from the North Beach Projects, or what used to be the North Beach Projects, to up the street in Fillmore, to Hunters Point. My years spent not only as a touring poet and a teaching artist in the Bay, but as a community organizer as well, has taught me that I am not here today just in protest of a president. I do not even say his name, family. That is not how I choose to spend my power with you all. And I am not marching today despite our differences, sisters and family. I am marching because of them. And I invite, and my brothers, and I invite the tension, and I invite the discomfort, the same way I invite our collective joy. We did not come because we thought this march would be comfortable. We came because we know discomfort will not kill us. Other things may aim and target us, family, but not this united front. I came to stay focused and to get free with all of you. And there's nothing that exists in our society right now that brings us closer to freedom, quite like art does. We artists, make some noise if you're artists in this crowd. We artists know that we have a unique responsibility to translate that which we cannot quite articulate all the time. We use art to heal, but most of all, we also use art to resist. With that said, I share this poem with you all today that I wrote for this moment, with the spirit of every one of my ancestors guiding my words. I love you, sisters, and I love you, allies. I need you. I got you. And I truly, truly fucking believe that we will win. Today, I laid out every piece of me onto the tabletop of this poem. And I remind myself that my first generation, queer, Samoan, woman of color body fights its way up for air, surviving every day knowing I was not supposed to survive at all. I am not supposed to be on this stage. I am not supposed to be this loud, to be this brown, this queer. How dare a queer, brown, Asian Pacific Islander woman from the Bay be so bold at the mouth of a mic? How dare a queer, brown, how dare a queer, brown Samoan woman not crumple up her courage? How dare I not explain myself for being so articulate? How dare I be more than my exotic stereotypes? How dare I be a queer, brown Samoan woman of color and expect better from her white sisters and male allies? How dare I use my voice? How dare I use my voice to turn up the volume on this country's history? And yet they say, sisters, that we overreact. They say, get over it already. They say, stop trying to be divisive. They say, stop playing the race card again. They say, boys will be boys. They say, prove it. We prove it. And they say, I don't believe you. We scream. And they say, hey, keep it down. They say, shut up, girl, and know your place. Know your place. Know your place. And that's when I remember, y'all, that they know what happens when a woman doesn't do what they want her to do. When a woman unburies her bravery from the backyard of her voice and uses it to scream her story and watch a choir of other women chime in to sing me too, they know that when a woman tries on the sides of her voice, is up. They know that the most powerful and frightening thing a woman can do is realize how much power she is actually made of. I write poetry because I realized that the power of my words is the only country that a colonizer can't get his hands on. I speak because even as it shakes, my voice is the only nation that cannot be invaded. My ancestors did not survive, resist, and die at the hands of U.S. imperialism and militarization just so I could be nervous of how uncomfortable my truth makes people who are not used to seeing a queer, brown, Pacific Islander woman outside of a Disney movie or tourist attraction paradise. We women who unhinge our jaws and are done playing nice. We, history in the making, hell-bent on not repeating our past. Cycle breakers in the flesh. We who flood the streets today and bring the dreams of our mothers with us. We who ran for office in last year's midterm elections and did that shit. We, the queer, trans, disabled, undocumented, poor women who take up all the space we want. We, who may not always see eye to eye, but know that we cannot survive with even one of us left behind. We, who are so over asking for equality and ready to demand justice. A justice that is ready to be on the only side of history that will save us. A justice that is done accepting the lesser of two evils and desires the option of no evil at all. A justice that runs us our money for our years of unpaid emotional, physical, sexual, intellectual labor. I want a justice. I want a justice that can find the Pacific Islands on a map and say they know something about climate change that we don't. Follow the lead of those island nations so that we can save this planet. I want a justice that returns this land to the indigenous people. Send a search party for all of our missing and murdered Native sisters. A justice that demands no body is illegal. A justice that stops. I want a justice that stops depending on Black women to vote us out of our misery by continuously being the only group who votes in the best interest of all of us. Because they vote in the best interest of themselves. One where women betray the patriarchy that they think protects them. One where men betray the patriarchy that they know protects them. A justice. I want a justice where men don't wait to have daughters or have to recall the names of women in their lives just for them to value ours. I want a justice where we stop theorizing the meaning of allyship over Twitter and start going home for the holidays to be one in front of our families. I want a justice that sees women of color going in one direction and dares the rest of the world to do the unthinkable and follow our lead. Remind ourselves how history has proven time and time and time again that when women of color fight for justice, like we have done our entire lives, we fight for justice for all of us. We women don't only have the capacity for hope, sisters. We are the hope. Women, look not only at the problem, but at the horizon. We see justice rooted in the new soil of a heaving world, anxiously waiting for us, whispering in our ears to bring all of us there ourselves. Thank you.
And fellow agitators, and as we march today
that was, I feel relieved, I feel really good. It was like one of those moments where you don't understand the magnitude of it until the moment you're in it. And then the moment I stepped on stage, I didn't realize how many people were there. So I was like, oh shit. I think I said it on the mic. I was like, oh shit. And I loved it. It felt good. I felt myself knowing that a microphone amplifies naturally, but I still felt like the need to stay loud and stay present and stay grounded in all of that I am and not waver from that and whatnot. And it felt good to feed off the energy of all the women in the crowd and just the power. So it felt really good.